I'm here outside of Texas City, and I'm going to highlight for you some of the problems that we face in estuaries, in freshwater ecosystems, in rivers, lakes, open ocean, bays. Everywhere is going to have these problems, and I want to show you these specifically. I'm in an estuary, but these problems aren't limited to estuaries. So one of them is old tires. Now, I don't know if you can see these sort of circular shapes under the water here, but that's all old discarded tires. Now, tires eventually are not that bad, but when tires first come into an ecosystem, they do release a ton of chemicals into the water that are toxic. One of the other issues facing the entire aquatic world and the entire marine world is plastics. So even if you look right here, there's a few of this. Some of this is unintentional, you know, like this is a plastic bag of maybe sinkers, right? There's sandwich bags and bottles here. Look at this. Look at all these bottles. There's loads of them, okay? But that's not the only ocean plastic that's really the kicker. This one's the kicker. Discarded fishing nets, particularly very, very fine mesh nets like this one. These are a real problem because they're made out of plastic. Usually they're nylon or plastic. They last forever. They don't biodegrade. They don't really break down in the sun. They're incredibly hardy. And so they're a persistent problem. The other issue is because of this fine mesh, then they're catching the baby snook, the baby redfish, the baby bull sharks, all of our game fish, all the things that we want to come out here and catch, all the things that attract people to come spend thousands and thousands of dollars fishing out here. Well, those nets catch the baby ones. So that means they never grow up to be the adult ones that people spent thousands of dollars to come here and fish for. The other thing is they catch the bottom of the food chain. They catch all the little fish that these larger fish are eating, so it slowly breaks down the food chain. The more of these nets that are out there, the worse and worse and worse it gets for the entire food system. On many of my adventures, I find things like I'm about to show you here. I call this conscientious, intentional, illegal dumping. That's a whole lot of Corona. Now, they stack the bottles up. They're glass bottles, not plastic. They even put the box. That's even recyclable as well. Places like this, where I'm at right now, I'm in a estuary habitat at the end of a little road that I guess used to be maybe a boat ramp or something. Spots like this would benefit greatly from some public dumpsters. A lot of people do want to do the right thing. Even if they have no intention of going somewhere else, driving into town to throw it away, they're gonna throw it away out here. Just leave people an opportunity to do something right, even out here. COVID was an interesting experience for mankind. What it led us to was even more single-use plastics, okay? The plastic bottles, the plastic forks and sporks and everything. Even the ends of these cigarillos and these cans, cups, all these things should be biodegradable. And by biodegradable, I'm not talking about, oh yeah, they'll degrade in 1,000 years. No. Like, they need to be biodegradable in 10 years or less if we're gonna call them biodegradable. So this is the reason watersheds have to get discussed. This young black-crowned night heron that's out here in the estuary with me on this little dock, off you go. Everything that happens in the watershed, for good or for bad, just like this is a classic example. Things that happen in the watershed are going to affect the aquatic ecosystem or marine ecosystem in mighty ways. It's all going to end up here, and it's all going to affect that little guy and all the crabs and mullet and everything that's down here. Look at this. This is a plastic bottle with monofilament fishing line wrapped around it, and this goes all the way down this dock, and I'm willing to bet there's an old rusty hook on the end of it someplace as well. Not all fishermen are bad, but bad fishermen really make a problem. Look at this. Even back in the 90s, we were told not to throw these things away, or if you did, to cut the loop so that if they ever ended up in the sea, that they wouldn't catch sea turtles. Right? That was years and years ago. But here the stuff is, this probably could have been from the 90s or the 80s. I mean, all the plastic that we create is still here. There seems to be a lot of people that want to say, well, make styrofoam cups illegal, make aluminum beer cans illegal, and make, just remove these things or change these things, and this won't happen. Yeah, that's true. Okay, if these were all biodegradable, we wouldn't be in quite the pickle that we're in. But there's also a school of people who think that what we should do is inform all the people that bought these materials and were responsible for these materials, teach them how to be more responsible and give them more opportunities to recycle or throw things away properly. The truth is, both of those things are correct. Education is very important. We do need to teach the public how to be responsible with the environment, but we also need to be creating products that don't just outright destroy the environment as well.